to Everweird. This is downtime. In the last session, session 6, my party returned to Longfelt and requested of Bow 4 that maybe they modify their agreement a little bit. They said, we're finding treasure, we're okay on money, and we think it's going to be kind of impossible to completely map each level. They explain the deal they struck with the Kobold Chief. So they ask if there's any kind of firepower that Balfour can lend to them. And Balfour says, what I'm going to do is instead I'm going to send my apprentice Faqual with you. Faqual is a level 1 magic user, and Balfour will naturally equip him with some offensive spells. So I'm going to roll up my first magic user. And you know how this goes. Let me get a big fat pencil for this. I say this every time. I'm probably going to fudge something a little bit because I know I'm making a magic user. Ordinarily, even at my tables of OSR, like if I'm playing this game with friends, even if it's not the first session or session 0, I hope that people would roll up and then randomly determine their class based on the rolls. Because this is a solo game and I kind of have to, God, I hate to use this word, but I kind of have to balance the party a little bit, or rather I'm trying to introduce someone based on a story prompt rather than a random roll. In that case, I've chosen magic users. So depending on how I roll, how I can trade ability points, we'll see what happens. And actually how it's worked in my at the table basic expert game is that I've just had a stack of pre-gen characters. And when a character dies or gets lost, gets trapped into a crystal of life stealing or something like that, I just hand the stack of pre-gens to that player and say, find your new character. I always allow them like, hey, next time we get to a place where it makes sense, like a town, you can roll up a new character, but here's the one we're going to try to introduce as quickly as possible. So anyway, all that said, here we go. 3d6 down the line. Wow. Down the line was out of the box. 9. 12. Not bad for intelligence. It's going to be a 0 bonus. 9 for wisdom, if I'm going down the line. 14 for dexterity. Well, I don't hate what that would do with their armor class. 15 for constitution is going to give them some hit points, and 11 for charisma. Okay, once again, I really like how this has shaken out. Like there's just a part of me that just doesn't want to change the scores that I rolled. But let me look again at that ability score modifications that I can do. I can move my prime requisite up, which for magic user is going to be intelligence. So I can move it up for any 2 points. I drop another ability, and I cannot exchange constitution charisma, so the 11 and 15 can't move, and dexterity cannot be lowered. So in order to bring up intelligence, no score can be lowered below 9. So if I were to play this like in line in this array, I can't do anything because I can't lower below a 9, I can't lower dexterity at all, and I cannot change constitution and charisma. What I could do if I wanted was like sort of switch these scores around, which is this sort of accepted way to do it in modern D&D, and it's probably been acceptable since 3rd edition or something, but like I just think that's gross. I don't want to do that. I love the randomness of just rolling and dealing with it. So that's what I'm doing. We're dealing with it. Great. That +1 in dexterity means my armor class will go down. I don't think magic users can even wear armor. They probably have like an AC of 9 or something crazy like that. Con means my hit points will go up by 1 every level. Not bad. So needed for my second level is 2,500. Magic users. Whew. They level up slow. So I'm going to put in those saving throws. Not really sure what to expect with magic users. I would think they have pretty good saving throws, but it's looking like they're right straight down the middle like everybody else. So experience bonus for intelligence 13 to 15. I don't have that, so I'm getting no bonus. Hit dice are 1d4 per level up. Armor, none. And no shield permitted. Dagger only. Optional with the DM's discretion or staff, blowgun, flaming oil, holy water, net, throne rock, sling, whip. Because they got magic spells. So, great. Okay, what do I do next? Those hit points, maybe? This should be terrible. 2 hit points. That is because of the 1 plus the con bonus. I mean, at least the magic user is a quick build, right? Okay, so what's your no armor thing? I guess it's in here. Armor class. No armor. Armor class is a 9. The dexterity bonus actually reduces that 1, so my armor class is an 8. No shield is allowed. Character's name. I got all this kind of stuff. All right, so gold. Well, 80 gold. Faqual is not wealthy. All right, so I'm going to use the old school armory to equip Faqual really quickly. There are basically 2 choices for a magic user. The apprentice, which is technically what Faqual is, and the wizard. I don't really see any reason to equip him as a wizard. The difference is going to be like a lantern and oil. I do kind of like that. Yeah. Faqual is a bit of a little rich kid, and so he's going to have 10 gold left. This reminds me that Virago needed to re-equip spikes. They have actually been coming in handy a lot, so I think iron spikes, 12 spikes for a gold. So my party's going to buy 24 spikes. Plus the ones that I'm just putting in there from Faqual. Torches, we're going to gain 3 more from Faqual. All right, that seemed like the easiest character creation ever. So I'm still sort of debating, like, if Balfour thinks enough of Faqual to give him an actual magic item, but he has a scroll of sleep. Oh yeah, he does have a dagger. That was in that list. Dagger, D4, and he has learned the spell Magic Missile. Balfour has made sure, whoops, not Magic User, Magic Missile. Balfour has made sure to train him on Magic Missile and memorize it before leaving. So I believe also, I'm going to check on this, but I believe what Faqual can do is, okay. What I'm curious about is the spell book. So I think Faqual can take that scroll of sleep and copy it into his own spell book. Starts with a spell book given to him by his teacher. It will contain 2 first-level spells. Okay, so I can actually choose another spell to put in there. 1, a magical treasure sometimes found in adventures is the magical scroll. Some scrolls have magic user spells written upon them. Magic user can use the scroll by casting the spell from it, in which case the written spell disappears as soon as it is cast. Or he can transfer it to his spell book, and he will have gained a new spell. So I like this option. Basically, Faqual has learned 2 spells in his time as Balfour's apprentice, and then has added the additional spell of sleep in there. I don't think... Nope. Okay. When he transfers that into his spell book, it disappears. So the usefulness of sleep, of having that magic item, will be gone. So I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to have 2 spells in his spell book. He's going to have Magic Missile. Maybe something like Shield. It's so crazy that that's your 1 spell that you prepared for the day. It's interesting that Floating Disc, the duration is only 1 hour or 6 turns. That seems pretty weak. Wondering what the difference is with the 5th edition Tensor's Floating Disc. I kind of feel like that lasts all day, or it's a cantrip that you can just constantly recast. I mean, to be honest, sleep is the best spell at first level. Faqual knows Sleep and Magic Missile. Those are the two in his spell book. And additionally, he has a Scroll of Sleep. So basically, in one day, he can prepare Magic Missile, use it, read the Scroll of Sleep also. And then the next day, he could prepare Sleep or Magic Missile, but that scroll will be gone because it is one-time use. And Faqual did not need to burn up the scroll to copy it into his own spellbook because Balfour was able to teach it to him. So that's my new magic user. He is chaotic. He is aligned with Balfour, and we'll see how this affects the party.